Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the AM Report for HAPS News, the network of now. I'm Alex Mahajer, and it is Friday, January 22nd. It is Donald Trump has been out of the White House now for going on 2 days since Wednesday, and Joe Biden's second full day in office, and he has hit the ground running. We're going to talk about some more executive orders coming out of the White House this morning in response to the coronavirus pandemic. We're going to talk about the Senate confirmation hearings. We're going to talk about insurrection updates, about the accountability for the insurrectionists of January 6th. All of this and more this morning on the AM Report. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the program. I am Alex Mahajer, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining. A lot of people joining already this morning. Corinder, is that your name? From London? Hello. Good morning from London. Good morning from Los Angeles. It's good to see you all this morning. If you're watching on the HAPS app, website, or platform, click the award button. Let us know you're enjoying it. Or if you're watching on Reddit, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, leave a comment. We'll bat around with you live on air and get your thoughts on what's been going on this morning. So thank you all for joining and your comments, and let me know what you guys think. We have a lot of news to cover this morning, so let's just jump right into it. Biden is citing more pandemic orders this morning. So he is a lot of COVID-19, he's calling the COVID-19 response a wartime undertaking. So President Biden signed 10 executive actions yesterday focused on mending public trust and increasing transparency, speeding production of materials for tests and vaccines, improving COVID-19 response coordination with state and local governments, and ensuring pandemic responses equitable and fair. So this was what he signed in yesterday. So already taking very swift actions. That's on top of the 17 executive orders that he signed on Wednesday right out the gate, covering everything from the Keystone XL pipeline, which he has terminated, and oil and gas drilling in national wildlife reserves, to other pandemic response, reforming ICE, creating an ethics doctrine for the federal government. He's taken a lot of bold, swift action right out the bat. Restoring LGBTQ protections in the workplace, really broad, sweeping executive orders. And we're learning that he's got 2 more executive orders planned today. These are specifically about hunger and workers' rights. So President Biden's going to sign 2 more executive orders that aim to reduce hunger in the United States and promote federal workers' rights during the coronavirus pandemic. Now, that seems like it's a very general sort of sounds very light, right? But really, these 2 executive orders are extremely sweeping. So he's going into the Department of Agriculture, Department of Labor, and he's asking them to take broad actions in these executive orders that look at the role of those agencies and the states and local governments. What are the minimum wages by federal employees, and can we boost those up to $15 an hour ahead of a more comprehensive COVID-19 stimulus package? And how can the Department of Agriculture, for instance, ramp up assistance to people who are hungry right now? Because as we know, hunger is a growing problem in the United States amidst a global health crisis. So very swift action on these really pressing issues by Biden right out the gate. And we expect to hear about even more executive orders as he ramps up legislation. He's already sent 1 bill to Congress. That's an immigration reform bill. That's right away, day 1, he sent that over, and we expect to get more from him very soon. Let's talk about Donald Trump. He's gone, but never forgotten. Mitch McConnell, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, is asking for a second for Trump to build a defense in his looming impeachment trial. So he's asking that Donald Trump's impeachment trial in the Senate be pushed back by a week or more to give him time to build a defense. I'll note Donald Trump has hired a criminal defense attorney to represent him in the impeachment hearing, and in the meantime is raising lots of doubts about the legality of impeaching a president after he's left office. House Democrats want a quick trial, but this could also be leveraged to ensure that Biden's nominees are confirmed. So basically, Democrats could say, okay, we'll give your guy a little more time to build his defense, but we want you to confirm our Senate, confirm our president's cabinet picks, and do it a little more expeditiously. So we'll see what happens with that. Either way, the legality of an impeachment trial is very much so being raised as the constitutionality of it is being questioned by Republicans, some Republicans, and the Trump team, when really the Senate has been given the constitutional authority to prohibit an impeached federal officer from holding public office again in the future. And therefore, by the vested power that's been granted to them by the Constitution, they are able to have this impeachment hearing. Not to remove him from office, that would be moot, but to determine whether or not to convict him and then determine whether or not he can be barred from holding public office in the future, which really will be the focus of the Senate impeachment trial moving forward. Speaking of the Senate, Josh Hawley, senator from Missouri, Republican, and Ted Cruz from Texas are facing an ethics probe for their role in the insurrection on January 6th. So 7 Senate Democrats filed a complaint with the Senate Ethics Committee to initiate an investigation into Senators Cruz and Hawley after they spearheaded efforts to object to the results of the 2020 election in the Senate, knowing full well that Joe Biden was the winner. And they did, the question really is, did their actions knowingly incite a violent insurrection at the U.S. Capitol? Did they knowingly propagate lies and misinformation that they knew were false in order to personally benefit and at the expense of democracy? So that ethics probe is now going to be something that those 2 senators will need to face. Growing calls for their expulsions from the U.S. Senate from people who are fairly upset about their roles. That's kind of bipartisan. So it's not just Democrats that are pretty displeased with Senators Cruz and Hawley for their behavior ahead of the insurrection that happened on January 6th. What do you guys think of this so far? Leave me a comment. Let me know. We got a lot of people chiming in. Good to see you all this morning. Ouch. Says, I need my glasses, but ouch is a comment I'm seeing. And ouch indeed. Can't feel super great, but nonetheless, there we are. Speaking of the insurrection, by the way, in insurrection news, let's cover some insurrection accountability updates. Look, here's what's up. The Eric Munchell, he's the zip tie guy. He stashed firearms outside the Capitol with his mommy, before storming the Capitol, according to DOJ prosecutors. He's currently being tried. He's been arrested and being tried. An analysis by NPR revealed that 1 in 5 of the Capitol insurrectionists has previous service in the armed forces, which is a stunning and very shocking number, but maybe not altogether surprising. And I think if we really need to look at how and why 1 in 5 military or former armed services members are having this like mental health crisis where they are participating in this kind of behavior. And a woman accused of stealing Nancy Pelosi's laptop, Riley June Williams, was released in Pennsylvania to her mom's custody and is being ordered to appear in court on Monday. I'll note that woman, Riley June Williams, was potentially going to sell information that she got on that laptop to Russia, to Russian intelligence. How does that happen? Pretty shocking that Trump's acolytes, even insurrectionists that are storming the Capitol, are trying to sell potential classified information to one of our foreign hostile power, a foreign adversary, which is just really wild to me. But The Army is admitting that Lieutenant General Charles Flynn, who's the brother of Trump's disgraced national security advisor Michael Flynn, was involved in the decision-making process that resulted in the massive security failure at the Capitol on January 6th. So it runs in the family. Apparently, Charles Flynn was on a phone call January 6th that would have that was responsible for some of the response at the Capitol as the insurrection was happening, and there was a massive security failure. So now an investigation is being brought against Charles Flynn for his role in the massive security failure that resulted in 5 people dying, including a Capitol police officer. So a GOP congressman has brought a gun to work. Yesterday, Representative Andy Harris of Maryland brought a gun to the House floor, despite a new rule by Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi forbidding firearms on the House floor. It's like U.S. Capitol Police are now investigating this. He basically showed up, the metal detector went off, and they discovered that it was a gun. They sent him away, and Harris was pretty pissed about it, and he tried to give his gun to Representative John Katko, a Republican from New York, who I'll know was one of the Republicans who voted to impeach Donald Trump in the impeachment of the impeachment number 2 just a week ago now. Jeez Louise, things are happening so quickly. John Katko looks at Representative Harris and says, I don't have a license to carry, and I'm not holding your gun. And we don't know exactly what he did with the gun. He left the house and came back minutes later, and the metal detector did not go off. So we're not sure exactly what happened, but now an investigation into the GOP. The GOP can't keep it together. Lots of investigations into the GOP and their roles in God knows what, security breaches, the insurrection, incitement to insurrection, bringing your guns to work. Pull it together, Republicans. Jeez Louise. So we know that there was a new rule in the House that Nancy Pelosi implemented. So Andy Harris will be fined $5,000 according to new House policy. And if he does it again, $10,000. So sorry, Andy, don't bring your gun to work. Lauren Boebert of Colorado been screaming about this online, which is hilarious because turns out Lauren Boebert, the new darling of the Republican Party, freshman member of Congress, the one who trying to advocate bringing her gun to work and can't stop screaming about it, has a rap sheet a mile long, a criminal history that's a mile long, including her husband too. Her husband, Jason, was arrested and convicted, pled guilty to exposing his penis to underage women at a bowling alley in the early 2000s. And she's got a rap sheet a mile long, conflicts with police, being arrested for being drunk and disorderly. I mean, she's a real gem. So that's the new freshman class of the Republican Party, along with these QAnon conspiracists, Marjorie Taylor Greene and others in the House, and people like Andy Harris. He can't not bring his gun to work. The cabinet confirmations of the Biden administration are off to a bit of a slow start, but just moments ago, Lloyd Austin was confirmed by the U.S. Senate as Secretary of Defense. He's joining Avril Haines, who was confirmed the other day, just yesterday, as Director of National Intelligence. And these are the only 2 Biden picks to be confirmed so far, though confirmation hearings for Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary, are currently underway in the Senate. So we will see how fast we can get these cabinet picks confirmed. But I'll note that these cabinet selections have been, while slow, have been bipartisan. Avril Haines received over 80 votes in the Senate to confirm. This is not as divided as Donald Trump's cabinet picks, which were a fight. Each one was a fight that came down to the wire with down party line, and Democrats didn't have the power at the time, and it was very difficult, a very difficult process, but they happened very quickly. So we will see how these cabinet picks keep going. And thank you so much for the award, the Appreciate You Award. If you're enjoying the broadcast, leave us a comment. Let me know you're enjoying it, or click the award button on HAPS and let me know you're enjoying the program. It shows up live on air. And what are your guys' thoughts as we close out this week as we're going into this Friday? Wow, who are the radicals now? Remind me again, says Noel Yamang. Yeah, I think this is a very good comment, Noel. Liberals and the left have been demonized so much by the conservative media mostly, and then parroted by really irresponsible leaders within the Republican Party and in the Republican movement as a campaign tactic, but that's trickled down. And I remember when they used to call us tree huggers and snowflakes, and like we were too weak and sensitive, and now we're violent radicals who burn down American cities. I think the Republican Party needs to decide: am I a tree hugger, like a peace, like anti-military, like hippie, or am I a violent radical burning down your cities? Everyone needs to decide. Yes, the Senate has confirmed Lloyd Austin. We did just report on that moments ago. So I was ahead of the pack, but thank you for pointing it out in the comments. Yes, Lloyd Austin has been confirmed as Defense Secretary. So lots of comments. Thank you guys for joining the AM Report this morning for Haps News, the network of Now. We are live every weekday morning with all of your quick political news and headlines to get your day started right. If you like this journalism, if you like this content, please consider subscribing. You can do that at haps.tv/@Alex. Just click the subscribe button. You'll get a notification when we go live every morning, or you can become a recurring monthly sponsor, like folks like Tim David or Daryl Archibald or Adam Cobb or Sarah Kalogly. Become a monthly recurring sponsor. Buy me a cup of coffee. Anything you can do to help support independent journalism is much appreciated. Thank you all for joining. We will be back on Monday. Thank you, Tim, for joining. Thank you. It's good to see you. We'll be back Monday morning. Have a fantastic weekend. Mask up, everybody, and stay safe. We will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.